I think the main message I want to convey to people is that they should not be intimidated by this topic. It on the surface can seem complex, but it really is quite straightforward. And so, um, before you leave this earth, you should organize your affairs so that the people that survive you have an easier time dealing with whatever possessions you have. And so, some of that is just getting organized, but some of it is just preparing the appropriate documents. So if one was trying to get prepared, the best first step is to go visit with somebody who is conversant in estate planning, and that's typically a lawyer. There are some online services, but the easiest way to do it is to contact a lawyer and have them prepare the necessary documents. Some of those documents deal with aspects of while you're still alive, and some of them deal with what happens when you're gone. So the alive part is if you become incapacitated and you can't run your life affairs, you need someone to take over as your power of attorney. And so that's typically a loved one. It could be your spouse, it could be your child, and they basically use this document to say, I'm in charge of this person's affairs. The second thing that's super critical is a medical power of attorney. And so if you are in the hospital and you can't make decisions for yourself, you need to have somebody be able to make decisions for you. And this is a very standard document. Most hospitals now request it be sent to them, and all these things can be, basically put in electronic form, so they're easy to send to somebody like a hospital that says, okay, my spouse is in charge of my life if I'm incapacitated, or my daughter, or my son, or my very good friend. It doesn't have to be a family member. Many of us who've been working have a thing like a 401k or a 403b or just an IRA rollover at a given financial institution. And those assets pass to whoever you designate. It's called a beneficiary designation. And they pass by virtue of that designation. So your will say what happens to your house or things like that. But the IRAs go by these beneficiary designations. And sadly, a lot of people fill that out when they first start working. They never look at it again. And so that's an important thing to make sure you review, so that the money goes to the person that you want it to go to. And particularly if your family has changed, some people, their children predeceased them, or their spouse might predecease them. So you got to constantly update that document to make sure it's in order. You can also have a standard bank account or a brokerage account, and you can put what we call a transfer on death designation, which acts similar to this beneficiary designation. So you're just basically saying, so like I have an account that is in my name personally, but if I die, it's transferred to my spouse upon my death. And so it just makes that whole process go more smoothly. And then lastly, I went through this experience with my own parents back in 2020 and 2021, and they were wonderful people who led good lives, but they accumulated 60 years of stuff, and it was a lot of work. And so my wife and I are spending a lot of time recently just trying to get less stuff. And it'll be a big favor to your loved ones if you can, reduce the amount of stuff that they're going to have to go through upon your death.